It was very simple. It was 1966 when I received a phone call from Joe Weder when I was in Germany. And on the other side it said, "Arnold, I want to make you a champion. I'm going to give you all my protein. I'm going to put you on all my covers all over the world and make you a big champion. What do you say?" And I said to him, "Joe, you got it. I'm coming."
You know, Frank Zane, when he was at his best, he was actually one of the most underrated bodybuilders. Because when he came on the scene, he was so symmetrical, proportionate, and he conveyed the Apollon type of a body, almost like the figure of David. But a lot of bodybuilders, even though they appreciated it, they underrated him because of the lack of mass. But despite the lack of mass, he went on to win the title 3 times, and he always was a student of the sport, very intelligent, very serious, and he really contributed greatly intellectually to the sport, for which I'm very proud of him being a Mr. Olympia.
Very good.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. I feel very fortunate to be able to stand up here. It's almost like I've been able to stand on the shoulders of giants who have come before me. And Joe, I certainly owe you a lot for helping me throughout the years and giving me the criticism I've needed to improve, which without it, it's impossible to improve. And also the early years that I spent training with Arnold and Franco at Gold's Gym, and the camaraderie we had at competitions in the early 70s. And I think of those days with just great emotion, because Joe was there too in the gym training with us, I remember. And he just gave me wonderful advice, and actually helped me develop quite a few new poses, things that I just never knew. And I always went to Joe before competition for criticism, and of course I went to Arnold too for criticism too, and that always didn't work out, but most of the time it did. But if you need anything in bodybuilding, it's criticism, and you need to be told not only what's good about you, but what you need to improve, because as people we cannot see ourselves. And I truly appreciate that, and I'm very grateful to all of you, and I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
Chris Dickerson won a title after Zane gave up. No. When he won a title, he beat out a lot of great stars. Very few people know it. He beat out all the champs of that day, including Frank.
It was a wonderful experience being there and winning the title. And I was frustrated twice, and I thought, well, I really want that title, and I'm so glad I hung in there, because now you just say Mr. Olympia.
But you had to overcome Franco and Arnold.
Yes, I remember them. But we're all so proud to be up here, and it's just a wonderful thing to say you're Mr. Olympia, and you're always Mr. Olympia, always. Terrific, and thank you, Joe.
That's okay. Smear, when he won a title in Germany, he was no pussycat. He was really a Lebanese lion. He was striated, massive, and muscular. And when he won a title, he beat out, at that time he beat out Lee Haney, among other great stars.
I guess I'm one of the lucky ones.
No, yeah, but you were a great, great star, and you really startled the world.
Thank you.
And I'm very proud that you were such a great champion. You lived up to it, and we had a lot of inspiration to get back and win the title.
Well, I don't have a long story to tell, but all I could say is it started back in Lebanon, of course, because of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Franco, Kolombó, and Frank Zane. Byproduct, you know, I decided to be one of those stars, you know. It's like, it's it's emotional for me, because being there, I mean, these men right here, I admire them like a great deal you can't imagine. Okay, so all I could say, the Mr. Olympia is is a great achievement. I'm very glad to be part of it. Oh, okay. Thank you, Franco. Thanks. So it's a great achievement, and I'm really, really glad and very, very proud to be part of it. And I wanted to thank Joe Weider and the IFBB. I want to thank all the champions that inspire me, including Arnold Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane, Franco Colombo, etc. And that's it. I'm one of 9. You can't, you are history. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you, Joe.
Stop it. Lee Haney is one of the greatest champions we ever had. And I want to tell you, really, I want to tell you, when he was an aspiring champion, when he won the amateur titles, and I thought that he would be one of the great bodybuilders of all time, I encouraged him, and I helped him to establish himself in Los Angeles. He moved there, he trained for a few years, he became a champion, but his heart was always in Atlanta. And there where he belonged, he moved back there. But I want you to know, in the early days, when he was with us, and he came to visit us quite often, no matter how depressed, no matter how overworked I was, whenever he walked in with that walk and with that smile, he always cheered my day up. And he always does that to everybody he knows. He is a very dear friend, and I love him very much. And he's honorable, he has a wonderful wife and children, and he does good work for people, and the sport is really proud of him. We all love him.
It was in 1982, after winning the NBC Nationals and the Universe, that all of my dreams had begun to come true, but it really happened once I received a telephone call from Joe asking me if I wanted to come to California and train, and it's just like all of this hard work over the years had finally come to reality. And a gentleman that I had admired in the magazine who had made other champions was now offering me the same opportunity. So you couldn't imagine the excitement. And one of the things that Joe said to me, he said, well, Lee, when you come here, you work hard, you discipline yourself. Then he said, and do you have a girl that you're in love with? I said, yes, her name is Shirley. He said, well, grab her and bring her on, and I'll make sure she have a job when she gets here. Make sure Shirley worked. And he took good care of us, So I really appreciate you, Joe. I thank you for everything that you've done for our sports. You've created lives, you've created opportunity, and God bless you, because you set your sights on things above this world, which is eternal. God bless you.
Thank you. As we look back on those champions, the champions of the 60s laid a foundation through their dedication and their integrity and to prepare the sport for the generation of the 70s. The champions of the 70s trained hard, dedicated, they were honorable, they competed at their best, and by doing that, they kept the sport alive and laid a great foundation in the 70s for the champions of the 80s. And I want to thank the champions for the 80s being so dedicated, continuing our sport, and through them, we have champions now in an honorable sport for all the hard work they have done into the 90s. I want to thank you all, and not to forget Dorian. The night that Dorian first competed in the Mr. Olympia, he ran into a brick wall for Lee Haney. Lee was at his absolute best. I don't think anybody could have beaten him that night. But Dorian went through the baptism of fire, and the year afterwards, when he came up on stage, he looked like some prehistoric monster, like a dinosaur, standing among all the bodybuilders out of the past. He really floored me, and when he took his back poses, he sent chills up my spine. He was so fantastic, and he still is. And I hope that he would continue, if he has a chance, to continue winning titles one after the other, because he is a fine man, good man, married man, and very happy and very honorable. To his wife, the war sport and all. And I'm very proud of you, Lee.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to continue on as far as try and win one tonight anyway. I'm really overawed to be up here with all these guys. These are like my heroes, guys that I grew up reading about. And I'd just like to echo what everybody else said. You know, I think we owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to Joe for having the vision to create this contest. Without Joe, none of us would be here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Joe, for your compliments, but I think it would be unfair to finish this ceremony without mentioning my dear friend Ben Wieder, who is sitting out there. Give Ben a hand, ladies and gentlemen. He's the man that has worked on the IFBB, built the IFBB, and has helped this competition to go and get the respect. Thank you very much, Ben Wieder. Thank you. We appreciate it. And of course, Joe's wife, Betty, is out there. Betty, do you want to stand up? Yes, there's Betty Wieder. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Really appreciate you taking your time off and your hard work to come here.
Don't worry, Joe.
I just think it would be really wrong if we let Arnold have the last word.
Joe, and let's take one picture, you and your champions.
Yeah.
Joe Wieder and his champions. You'll never get this picture again. Thank you, gentlemen.